And in 1 year, you provided $90 billion in breaks to the green energy world. Now, I like green energy as well, but that's about 50 years worth of what oil and gas receives. And you say Exxon and Mobil. Actually, this $2.8 billion goes largely to small companies, to drilling operators and so forth. But you know, if we get that tax rate from 35% down to 25%, why, that $2.8 billion is on the table. Of course it's on the table.
How can Mitt Romney capitalize on last night's debate performance in Denver? And why do conservatives continue to complain about the presidential polls this year? Welcome to Opinion Journal Live. I'm Jason Riley, and my first guest is Robert George, editorial writer at the New York Post, to talk about last night's debate. Welcome back, Robert.
Thank you. Good to be back here.
So Al Gore says that Obama's poor performance could be blamed on altitude. See, Obama got into Denver just before the debate started with only a few hours to spare. Didn't have enough time to adjust to the thin air. Now, Marco Rubio saw that and responded that Obama's ideas are just as bad at sea level. So, so that's what I heard earlier today.
Well, this is Al Gore who managed to somehow fumble one way or the other 3 different debates himself back in 2000, and I think almost all of those were at either sea level or just so who knows? I mean it's rather amusing.
It seems pretty much universally agreed here that Romney had a good night.
A thumping, as a former president might have said, yeah.
And what was amazing is how low the expectations were for Romney going in. The Washington Post yesterday reported on a number of national polls, 4 of them, how the public thought Romney would perform versus Obama last night. In all 4 polls, well over 50% of the public thought Obama would walk away with this. And in 3 of the polls, 30% or less or fewer of Americans thought Romney had a shot. So given those expectations, he had a very good night.
Well, absolutely. I mean, I think part of the problem with those expectations is that the average person, and I think actually the pundits as well, have a misunderstanding of what the different powers and skills of rhetoric that you have in, say, giving a speech or making a public performance, and in being in a debate. President Obama works very good in a sort of a big stage, giving a speech and so forth. Mitt Romney historically has done quite well in debates. He did well when he was running for governor in 2002 in Massachusetts, and of course he was always either the best or maybe second best in all of those Republican debates. So I think people should have realized, and there's also the historical point that a number of people have, and it's a fair one, is that for whatever reason, incumbent presidents, when they're running for re-election, tend to do very, very poorly in their first debate.
Reagan in '84, George W. Bush in 2004.
2004, yeah, exactly. I mean, Carter in '80, but that's a special case.
Are Republicans overpraising Romney's performance, though? Was this really a game changer?
I think it'll only be a game changer depending on how the various how each campaign recalibrates over the next week or two. We have to, again, looking at the historical, looking at history, we know that incumbent presidents have this problem. So how does the president respond to it? And obviously, in addition to them going out, continuing to go out on the campaign trail, you've got a lot of voters who are, especially in the swing states, who are still being pounded with ads, right. And those ads could just push everything that happened in the debates completely aside.
Last question, I should say. We got about 30 seconds. What did you make of the debate format and the criticism that Jim Lehrer has received? Fair?
I thought it was. I thought it was. Frankly, it was. I think, frankly, it was a little bit unfair. Yes, he wasn't out there, he was not telling them to shut up or anything. But at the same time, this was one of the more substantive debates that we've had in a long time. I mean, some people thought it was too wonky and so forth. But these these two gentlemen who, you know, we are going to be voting on to lead the country for the next 4 years, got down into the weeds on a number of issues, and Lehrer, in a sense, let them do that. I would prefer to have a moderator who it does a first do no harm in terms of letting the participants play, rather than, you know, jumping in and making it all about him.
Fair point. Fair point. Thank you, Robert. Appreciate you being here.